Hello, welcome back. Last time I took a break from a puzzle I couldn't solve by coming here and trying a puzzle I couldn't solve. So I am way down in the cold caves where at least the first puzzle was kinda tricky. I want to spend a moment trying this again before I walk away and try another, just to see if it resolves really quick. Didn't happen last time, but maybe it'll happen this time. So right. Fundamentals of the puzzle. These two are hard to reach. I need to bridge to them and push them off. To push them off, they need to be down because I'm not going to be up high. For them to be down, something needs to be sacrificed here. The only something I have is this block. Okay? So far so good. Problem is, getting something in here, enough bridging materials, probably involves using this as a backstop because trying to do it with multi-pushes alone, which I think I haven't actually tried, just doesn't leave me with enough materials, right? Am I sure of that? Again, I have not tried this. I think I can be sure, however, let's do the diligence. Because yeah, like, here is this, and then if I push this in, as soon as I push anything in, like, I lose everything that I've brought, so I can only get one this way. That's not true. It is, actually. Unless I go in this row, I can get 2.5. Halves don't count, though. And even if I actually had 4, that wouldn't be good enough because this can't be pushed from that angle. I have to bridge to here. Okay, so because of that, I need a harder backstop, one that won't slide as readily. So with this as a backstop right here... Wait a second. Okay, yeah, that does transfer it. But if I put something above it, it doesn't, right? And this, exactly this, is how all of my attempts started, right? Exactly this, or a symmetrical equivalent. So somewhere in these actions is where I need to find something I can reorder to make different things happen. Idea would be... Actually, hold up, this idea doesn't work at all. Right, yeah, so that only gets me 2 and doesn't get this back. I have left this here, I guess I can get a third one. I put it there because I know that's involved in getting the monster block back. So monster block currently stuck. Extra thing needs to go there to be able to push it away from the wall. That is non-optional. Here or here, either one is fine. However, the monster block needs to get down to that stuff in order to have any chance of doing any of that. That involves sacrifice. No it doesn't actually. Not when I do it like this. Oh, hello. I see a pattern. If I can make this happen 1 tile to the south, I still would not be done because this doesn't have a backstop north or south to get back. But maybe I'd be closer. So to do all that, 1 tile to the north or south. Should be doable. Approach like this instead. Continue approach from the same side. Do roughly the same actions as before. Offset a little bit. I put you in. I put you... No. Yes. Maybe. I don't put you in yet. I push this here, push that there. These go down. No, something's wrong here. How did I end up with this? Why doesn't this look like it looked like before? Wait, what did I do before? Right, I pushed one more. I let you go in there. Okay, so that at least, while it is stuck, it still lets me see more clearly. Okay. So this over. And yeah, the only sacrifice I can ever make, not this kind of sacrifice, the only block and pit I can ever do is the one that's going to be bumped by this, going some direction, in order to stop it from sliding into this pit, or that pit. So that would imply something. No matter what I do, if I'm pushing this away, I cannot also have pushed a multi-push block away. Because this is only too wide, and I can't move things vertically while that's happening, I think. At what point is this done with its job? Much earlier than the point that we are currently at. Ah, so is the key then... to do that earlier. Oh, this is interesting. Doesn't quite get me there, but it's interesting. I'd push this. I would push that. Ooh, this is interesting. This is like almost something. If I could have these split apart a bit more... Well, no, I've already lost a multi-push, so that's not viable as it is. Okay, right, so the reason that I had this here was it was going to be my backstop, and in fact, if that's what I wanted to do, then it needed to have been here instead. Right, okay, so remember, I don't need a spare backstop if I have this just sitting here waiting to be a backstop. So I just need to do all this inner stuff with these, without involving this extra outer one. So if that's the theory... how close can I get to that ideal? That close? Oh, solved it. Okay, there we go. So the backstop doesn't go away because the multi-push block doesn't knock into it. I've left this here. That's when it goes in the pit, not when the multi-push bumps into it. Did it. Okay, there we go. Just had to go over all the dependencies. And it resolved. Hey, that's good. You know what? Prize corner is here. That's fantastic. Cool stuff. I'm going to attempt to carry this momentum and retry a top. I already solved a top. Retry, what's it called? Hotzone. Because I do want to poke at every unsolved puzzle, every session, to try and make some progress in it, because every time I poke, there's a chance that I will actually solve a thing. So with that done, let's try Hotzone again. Again, just go over all the things in the puzzle. This puzzle has more in it. This possibility space is much larger than the other one. That is one of the things I can do. I can push a block in and onto that altar. I can also keep pushing north. I can also get this out of the way, and I cannot push something else north to here. One of my solution ideas involved getting a monster block here, which would solve many, many things. However, that's getting ahead of myself. First, I just want to look at the fundamentals of the puzzle. So before I start stacking, I can put that in there and have one block. If I do stack... like, re-examining fundamentals, again and again, is how I spot the fundamental that I have missed. It's an important activity. So there's no arrangement from here where I can put monster blocks in and ever get something on the altar. The only way anything ever goes on the altar is with these having been used in some capacity, right? I think that's true, because right now I can't hold the door and get out. Because yeah, the door holder... I keep looking at this. The fact that that's so close to a bridgeable situation. But that's obviously useless, because one, these are monster blocks and I can't walk across them. Two, even if I got in here... this is in the way. Three, if I wanted this door holder to let me get back out, that's in the way. So no, this is definitely useless. Okay, so I can completely prune the line of reasoning that bridges from here to here. That is strictly useless. Good, okay. So not having to think about that. Next things to consider. There's direction of travel on the trapdoors. My presumption has always been that it's outside in. No, it hasn't, but right now it currently is. That makes the most sense. There's some amount of stacking I can do. I don't want to do any until it's purposeful. But just note that anything that goes in here... Right, yeah, so if I hold the door, I can get back out after going outside in. Yeah, so the two interesting things to do with the trapdoor are either that, hold the door and go outside in, and, well, yeah, so holding the door, purpose of that is to get back out again. Or... set up something here, let's say a stack of 3 maybe? Starting like that, then I rearrange those and... use the trapdoor to get out. Which doesn't make much sense to me. Because what have I accomplished by rearranging these? Well, what I've accomplished, in theory, is the ability to make a rotation. Okay, so I made a rotation from here. I push north after that. If I went out one more, which I have done, I can sacrifice here. If I go out one more, I can sacrifice here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's already using 5 of my 6 usable blocks, not counting the 7th. Which means my sacrifice count seems low. I do have to go down to ground level in order to push this out. That's unavoidable. And once at ground level, I do have to have both of these layers open to return anywhere. Because I'll need elevation to get this key and get through here. And that requires me to be at a place where I can get elevation, and that is not north of this door unless something's being pushed onto there, which I can't influence from up here. So I'm not just leaving these doors closed. They have to open, and then one set of them I think has to close again afterward. Okay. So the most promising looking thing looks like what? Remind me. Well, there were kind of 2 ways to go about it. But roughly speaking, it's something like stack of 2 or more goes here. Oh, hold the door. Hold the door. Stack of 2 or more goes here. And with that motion, I can only sacrifice here. I cannot sacrifice there because I can't turn that corner. The trapdoors are aligned with that altar, not this one. I can only bring one, like a 1x1 stack of things with me, therefore I can't expose the higher ones to the ground and do the sacrifice before I've left and gained elevation. From this point, I cannot gain elevation without going out this way. But what I can do is rearrange this to prepare for the second sacrifice. So, prepared for the second sacrifice, I'm going to bring 3 of these. And I have the extra block remaining on the outside. Second sacrifice has been made, so extra block is remaining on the outside. I can hop down now and push this off. I can also rearrange this in ways that might be advantageous. But what I cannot do is teleport this one in here to this point. I can put it here and do everything else, but from there it can't move here. It can sacrifice there. Okay, now why is that non-viable again? And is the other way viable? Okay, I have to lose a block, which I think is fine. Okay, so from this point I have 2 problems. Well, let's get it down to 1. So to do that, then I would bring a stack of 3 on this side first. Again, I've done this before, but again, repeating this and looking for a point at which I could explore new state space is how I will solve the puzzle, probably. Bonk. Bonk. So here's that sacrifice. This monster block can only go one place, and that's here. And I have no stacks. Right, so the having no stacks is the remaining problem here. Because I didn't have a replay that fully tried all that. Why am I able to do things if this is here? What would that help with? Ah, right. It would help because I can put a... Oh, I already lost a block. Right, okay. So I would have already rearranged this so that I don't lose a block. Right, yes. So I don't have to lose that block. I'd like to re-input this then. Yeah, so those 2 cannot go where they need to go. But where they would go is here and here. In order to be pushed there, step here, push there, and be done. Sure, whatever. So the reason that cannot happen is because they block the way. So instead of teleporting a monster block here, I would like to teleport myself there. Yeah, so the whole crux of this is that I need to do a new stack of push blocks in this column after I'm already in here. I cannot make a stack that involves a push block above a monster block. If I could, right, there was a reason that that was an interesting thing to try and do. Okay, so the question occurs, is there a way I could ever do that? Okay, so that would mean... Ooh, it doesn't work, but what I'm thinking, maybe I can somehow get somewhere with this. I kill 2. I open the door. I can't push this in here now. So the only way I understand to get a push block out is like this. And I've sacrificed any chance of a sacrifice. I can do better. Right? Isn't there a thing I can do to make that work? I mean, not really. But let's take a moment and pretend. I will run out of monster blocks by doing this, but I can at least get vaguely close to what I'm trying to do. I want a stack of how many? 3? 4? 4. Let's see how short on monster blocks I am doing things this way. Probably off by about 3, I would say. If I want an arrangement that this looks like this, then my next move... Wait, I need so many more than that, don't I? No, maybe. Probably. Oh, I can't even do what I want to do. Are you sure? Not yet. No. Oh, there's some weird stuff happening here. How would this resolve? What I'm trying to build is a structure like that that lets me get out with one of these, replace that there, walk around, push this to the north onto that altar. Well, why would I do that when I could instead do something much more reasonable and do this? Oh, I might almost have something here. Can't rescue this one, so I'll just have to leave it. Okay, so here's where I run into my monster block shortage. Yeah, so right now this has to move out of the way, otherwise it will get in the way of any future insertions. I can't have brought one more block with me. Could I have? Not really? Okay, well, I'm gonna have some waste here. Anyway, so this allows me to put something up high on top of a monster block. And I guess I'll put that on top of the last one, and I am very, very short on blocks. That's for sure. But the thrust of what I'm trying to do is similar to this. So keep that tall thing somewhere somehow. Get around this to make that sacrifice. Have that tall thing still exist and push it to this location. That way all I have to do is put one more block here and hop up on either of these, which sounds a whole lot easier. Okay, that feels like it's going in a good direction. So since I dead-ended everywhere else, let's work with the idea that the goal state I'm trying to create is 2 push blocks stacked here, and the rest can come from just whatever. The part of that that is exceptionally hard is getting a push block on top of anything when it's not a monster block. So can I conceive of a different way to do that? Like, the only way you're dying is on hot coals. You gotta make a trip in, and then back out. That's how I am currently understanding it, at least. Is this loss aversion again? Right, so do things that ignore the block budget, and just see if you can make it work anyway. Even ignoring the block budget, I still cannot lay those down, hold the door open, push this off the edge, which I wouldn't even need to do, and then bring something in this way. I still need to bring something in this way to make the sacrifice, because going inside out with the trapdoors does not allow me to do the key early sacrifice that I need to be able to do. Is there an alternative that still allows something useful to happen? So if I want to do this action, that means I'm not going the other way across the trapdoors. All of this is dirt. Well, all of this is dirt. Dirt is not hot enough to cook a monster block. These are hot, but they're out of reach. These are hot, but they're out of reach. Those are wood. No hot coals under there or there. No hot coals under there or there. No poison in the room. Can't retrieve a monster block after it's fallen in a pit. I want one out after it has burned in order to do further stacking. Or at least I want one to do further stacking. I see something. I don't see how I could use it. There is no way I could use it. No, there's no way I could use that. Are you kidding me? No, there are so many reasons that doesn't work. I was gonna put something on the door so that I could, like, later push it in on top of a thing and use that for stacking. This can't be used for stacking. And there's no way for the top monster block, for the block in the stack on top to be a monster block, and that be an acceptable way to do this. I can't do something like put a push block here, get a monster block there, shove it off, and clear the room from this side. One, because of that corner, two, because of all the other reasons too. Okay, this looks to be unyielding, unlike mass. Alright, so I'm gonna walk away from that again. I got some new ideas, but they didn't quite go anywhere, but maybe eventually one of them will. I want to take a moment and just explore what's around here. There's a puzzle called Order here. That doesn't look so bad, not that many elements. There's an infernal door. Frostfire Crossing, that doesn't look so bad. None of these will at a glance. I won't be able to tell where the actual horror lies until I go in and try to solve them. That is part of the brilliance of these arrangements. Here's one called Halting Problem. That's a scary name, but like those elements don't look so bad. And there's Prize Corner. Okay, got it. In Prize Corner, I can lock myself in and go to that location with a Terra key to be able to get back out. Fun, okay. I see. So one of these gets me one key, the other gets me the other key. No, this gets me both keys, right? I take the Terra key. I do this, I do that. I take the Prime key. Yeah, I don't gotta do anything extra. And once again, Prime key used for return. So is the implication here that well, I can't tell how these hallways meet up. There's this one here that looks like it meets that. There's this extra one here that goes don't know where. I think I'm supposed to have this key now, and hitting this switch... Oh, hitting this switch would put it out of reach anyway, so you just gotta climb back down the ladder to get it either way. Okay. So that is how you solve Prize Corner. Cool. I got some keys. I still don't have enough primes to trade here. I would need 2 more. Okay, anyway, so mass is done. Halting problems available. Order is available. Frostfire Crossing is available. And spending an infernal key to go north here is available. And there is Hotzone. Okay, so that is what is on the table for next time.